Hi everyone. Okay, I'm going to run through a question here where we do some factoring, but then notice I've written this down. It can be done in the GDC, the graphic display calculator, and I'll talk really briefly about that in just a second. Although it should be pretty obvious at this point if you're done the course material, how I might go about using the graphic calculator to do that. So, but anyway, I'm going to walk you through kind of the procedure that we would expect you guys to apply seeing this question on an exam here. First of all, I would try grouping. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the first two terms and I'm going to take the last two terms and I'm going to group them together, and then I'm going to pull out what's common out of that first binomial, and I'm going to pull out what's common here. Now I am trying to generate the same binomial here, but the only thing that's common here is going to be a negative 4, and that's going to get me 2x minus 3. Well, dang it, those two aren't the same. So can't use grouping here, so now I got to move on. And here's where the factor theorem kicks in. And so we're going to apply first of all the integral zero theorem. Nice big name for actually a fairly simple idea. The constant here is 12. All of the factors that I'm looking for, the constant term in those factors, they've all got to be factors of 12. So I have to check, okay, x plus or minus 1, x plus or minus 2, x plus or minus 3, x plus or minus 4, x plus or minus 6, x plus or minus 12. 12 is kind of a rough number to work with. But those are all the possible factors that I need to be able to check here. So now I'm going to use the remainder theorem here to check those. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to check x plus 1, which means into that polynomial I'm going to plug in negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 squared minus 8 times negative 1 plus 12. Okay, well that's going to be negative 1. This is negative 1 squared is positive 1 minus 1. Okay, minus, whoa, minus, why did I do that? I'm looking ahead. Minus 1. This will be plus 8 plus 12. Wow. Okay, look, this is going to be negative 2 plus 20. Well, that's 18. There's no way that was going to go to 0. So that's obviously not a factor. So we move on to the next one. X minus 1. So I'm going to plug 1 into there. So it's going to be 1 cubed minus 1 squared minus 8 times 1 plus 12. Okay, so that's going to be, what have I got here? 1 plus minus 1, those cancel out here, negative 1, well, that's, you know what, that's going to equal to 4, so that's not a factor either. Okay, well, moving right along here. Let's try, now I'm getting kind of lazy here, and I already know what's coming up here, so let's try checking this one. That's going to be 2 cubed minus 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 12. Now take a quick look at that. That's going to be 8 minus 4. Okay, it's going to be 4 minus 16 is negative 12 plus, oh, look at that, equals 0. So there we go. So there's our first factor. Once you've got that first factor, what we're going to do is we're going to use synthetic division. And again, when I do synthetic division, I'm going to take the value that makes this binomial here equal to 0. That's what I'm going to put outside. So I put that out there and I'll get 1, negative 8, and 12 as our coefficients, and let's just start it. So bring down the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Ah, look at that. We're getting a remainder of 0. It's exactly what I wanted. So my factor here is x minus 2. Don't forget about that factor that you found up here. Common mistake is to just jump into this and pull this out and forget that one. But we're left with x squared plus x minus 6. And I think we can factor that pretty easily. That's going to be plus 3 minus 2. And so there I've been able to factor that expression. Now, that's all well and good. That's great. Can't we do that any faster? Well, truth is, yes we can. Get rid of that. So it's going to be x, whoops, sorry, I don't know why I pressed that. Y equals x cubed. What do we got here? Minus x squared minus 8x plus 12. Zoom standard here. Now take a quick look here. Now, you can see that it's going through -3. And then if you take a quick look at that, doesn't that look suspicious? Well, it looks like that's got a multiplicity of 2. So this is a root of -3, which means a factor of x plus 3. This is a root of +2, and it's got a multiplicity of 2. Well, that's exactly what I have written down right there. So you could use the calculator and your knowledge of multiplicities to factor this very, very quickly.